Hi again everybody, and welcome to this introductory video for assignment 2 of unit 33. So as you can see, I've opened up the Padlet that goes with this assignment. If you haven't done that already, you can do that by typing in the whole address, which you can see up here, but it's quite a long address. So you can also get to the Padlet by typing in padlet.com/Andy Copeland, and then you can just choose it from the list that appears. So as you can see, the learning objectives, as they always are up in the top left corner here. And they tell you that in this assignment you will have to describe examples of how the internet is used by selected contrasting businesses. And that leads to the achievement of P2, which is the second pass criteria of the unit. Moving along the Padlet then, the next resource I've made available to you is a PowerPoint, which is an introductory slideshow. So you'll need to go and have a look at that now, and then I'll talk you through it. Just a reminder here of the way that Padlet links work. You click on the resource here. Immediately what happens then is it opens in a preview, which is okay. And again, you can make it bigger with the button down here, but it's very small. It's better to go view original, and then it'll, depending on the type of resource that it is, it'll either open in another tab, or it'll actually download it, and then you can open it and have a look at it. So if you do that now, and then I will talk you through that. So here's that PowerPoint open on its title page. So let's have a look at the next few pages. So the importance of the internet for business is the first part of this assignment. It's all about the way that businesses use websites, and almost all businesses these days have a website, but some websites really just have something like the contact details of the business in there, and not much else really. Right up to websites like Amazon and eBay, where they're completely interactive, and you've got a shopping cart, and you can leave feedback, and you can even get on a forum, and so on, and just about everything in between. Moving on down there is the beginning of a list of headings that you will have to cover, which show that you understand the different ways that businesses use websites. It's not just for letting potential customers know their contact details so that they can give them a ring, and it's not just for allowing customers to buy things, like for example happens on Amazon and eBay. It's also for things like procurement, which really is just a fancy word for buying things. All businesses, no matter what they are, have to buy things regardless of their nature, and they'll quite often do that via their website. Businesses also use websites for research, for example, market research, to find out what their customers require so that they can react to that, and what other businesses and the competition are doing. And the idea of dynamic pricing, which is something you'll have to research there. A lot of companies, a lot of businesses use websites for promotion, which in a nutshell is trying to get customers. Hopefully those customers, once they've the business has got an interest from them, will then buy their product. So moving to the next slide then here, we've got a slide about the importance of the internet for business, and particularly customer service. As it says on the slide here, often the only difference between two businesses selling similar products is the way they treat their customers. And that can make a massive difference to how well the business does. And again, customer service is something which is very, very, very often, increasingly often handled via the website. Less so on phones or by face-to-faces. More and more it's on the company's website. Other things that a business would use their website for: PR, public relations. Again, very important to a company. The image of the company, how it deals with the customers, but also the media, how it is seen by the population generally. For information and news giving, local council, making it known when the next bin delivery might be, or when schools are open or colleges are open. Influencing others as well via forums and pressure groups, etc. A slide there also about the growing internet, and how all of this, everything I've mentioned there, everything so far in the PowerPoint, is increasingly happening, and didn't happen as much as it is now 2 years ago, and will happen increasingly in the future as well. Those first few slides are all about assignment task 1 of the assignment, which is talking generally about the way that companies use their websites and use the internet. And you can use lots of examples of your own in there. In task 2, though, you'll have to apply all of those things to 3 particular companies, and very contrasting companies, which is Ceredigion County Council, which is very much a local organisation, local to this area. The Co-op, the Cooperative Society, which is a national company, and then Nike, which is a very global company. So I had a good look at the PowerPoint there. And if you need to have another look, you can open it from the Padlet here, or you can have a look at that part of the video again. And I'm going to move on to the next link, which is the assignment brief itself, which you should always, as with all assignment briefs, you should study very, very carefully. So opening that, you can see now what you're now getting used to with the headings in the assignment brief of the unit number, the unit title, and the assignment. And as always, very important dates here, the date of handing out, and particularly important, the date you have to hand it in by, which for this assignment is the 18th of November. That's quite a generous deadline, particularly as you'll see from the table below here, there is only that one pass criteria involved. So if you have got slightly behind, I hope you haven't at this stage, only 3 or 4 weeks in, if you haven't handed in your first assignment, then there is still a chance to get up to date, because this is a relatively generous deadline that you've got here with this assignment. So let's start going through the assignment here fairly quickly. You can have a look at it yourself as well from the Padlet. Just the one pass criteria there. By the way, at the time of making this video, the Welsh translation of this is still in the pipeline. But by the time you watch this video, if you check again on Padlet, the Welsh side of this should have appeared as well. There's a scenario which already mentioned in the PowerPoint, so I won't go over that again, but you can pause the video there and read it on screen, or open the assignment from the Padlet. There's the word count, this time 2,000 to 3,000 words. A little bit more than the first assignment, there's more content involved with this one. It's very research based again, this assignment, a bit like the first one. You'll be looking at lots of websites for ideas for both tasks 1 and 2, so you must reference all your sources in an area towards the end of the assignment. So the tasks, 2 of them. Task 1 is where you talk fairly theoretically about what each of these things mean, procurement and research, and how organisations use their websites for these things. Procurement, remember, means buying things. Research can be market research to find out what their customers want, or research into their competitors, because of course all their competitors will have websites too. So in your assignment, you'll need to make using heading styles in Word. If you're not sure how to do that, you can let me know. I'll give you some guidance on that. Three main parts to it, which are these 3 that I'm highlighting now. They should be in something like a heading 1 style, and then the subtitles in each of those 3 main sections in heading 2 style. You can see these up here in your work. So you have to, there's a list here, and this is a list of everything you have to cover. If you miss anything from this list, then the assignment will not be complete. So that's basically task 1 there. Task 2 then is you apply all of that information to 3 specific companies. A very global company, which is Nike, a national company, the Co-op, and a very local company, Ceredigion County Council. And there's a wording of the exact wording of P2 there as it comes from the unit spec. So that's the assignment there. If you have any questions about that, you can email me. My address is on the Padlet, or you can ask me face to face in the next lecture. So here I am back at the Padlet. The next section here is example work. There's 3 pieces of work here from last year for you to get some inspiration from. Now, a couple of points, very important points here about example work. 1, it's there to help you. Do not just copy and paste large sections of it into your own work. I'm very familiar with this work from last year, and I will be able to spot if you've done that, and I will throw it back to you. And that work will not count towards your word count. It'll have to be rewritten, so it's much more your own words. And point number 2, in no way are these pieces of work meant to be perfect student work. It's just to get you started. I expect this year for the work to be better and better. Each year I expect better work. So that's only to get you started there. It is in no way designed to be model work perfect. It's what you start with, not what you finish with. And finally, the lower area here in the Padlet I've called the collaboration area. This is where you can share your research sites that you found. Here you can see that 2 or 3 students here have already shared some sites that they found, including a description of why they're sharing it with the group. You can share your thoughts on the assignment, hints and tips maybe for others, just ideas generally about how to complete this assignment. The final thing I want to show you is just to show you that the submission you make for this assignment will draw in information from lots of different areas. You might recognize the spider diagram from the previous assignment. So this is a spider diagram from assignment 33.1, as you can see there. But it could just as equally as well apply to 33.2, and you can bring in information from lots of different areas. Searching the internet, yes, but I wouldn't do just that. I wouldn't base your submission purely on searching the internet. Work from previous years as well, as I say, from the Padlet, but only as a basis for your work again. Your classmates as well, either verbally, you're working in small groups, talking to each other, and also the collaborative area on the Padlet. Me as well, of course. I can give you a hand if you get stuck. I can give you my own knowledge in this area, and your own existing knowledge. I've already seen from the warm-up session in the first assignment earlier today, in the first lecture of this assignment rather, that there was a lot of ideas from the experiences that people have had within the group, particularly with things like customer service and things like that. So the idea is not to use just one of these sources, but use as many of them as you can and bring in information and then synthesize it into your own assignment, which you will then hand in before the deadline. So I hope you feel now that you're ready to make a start on the assignment. Good luck with it. Produce the best work you possibly can in plenty of time for the deadline. If you've got slightly behind with the first assignment as well, you'll have to multitask for a bit and hand that in as soon as you can. So good luck. Produce the best work you possibly can, and I'll see you on the next video.